I just want to start off by saying that it's always great to be politically active than to not be politically active. So I thank you for that. But I do want to start off by saying earlier I was outside protesting, as I usually do on campus, with a sign that says, "Tear the fascists down." Now, for those who don't know what fascism is, it's an ideology associated with Nazism. As I had this sign, not affiliating it to anybody, I had a group of individuals come up to me saying openly they were fascists attending your event and called me the F word while at it. It's not lies. Now, I am not here to call you a fascist. I'm not. As I know you're not a Nazi sympathizer, you've never openly sympathized Nazism. I can see that. But people who openly call themselves fascists are here and are not afraid to admit they are fascists. So my question is, will you denounce fascism today, as the definition online puts it, as an ideology including racial nationalism and authoritarianism today?
Yes. Will you denounce Marxism as the greatest killer of human beings in the last 100 years?
Well, describe Marxism to me.
I'm sorry, what?
Describe Marxism to me.
The ideology that Mao Zedong, Joseph Stalin, Vladimir Lenin, and Pol Pot employed to the massacre over 100
It did kill millions of people. You're right. Correct.
Okay, so I'll denounce fascism. You denounce Marxism. Yeah?
Well, I would have to say, like, by definition. No. Hold on. So my thing is that, was it Marxism itself, or was it a materialistic condition that caused that? Because as Marxists, what we do say is that there's material conditions that contribute to society. Now, you probably aren't familiar with dialectical materialism. I'll try to explain it real quickly.
No, I've read the Phenomenology of Spirit, and I know Hegel. But
okay.
no, but tell me, but why not denounce Marxism? I mean, so Mao Zedong, Marxist, Lenin, Marxist, Joseph Stalin, Marxist.
I'll denounce Joseph Stalin for you, definitely, yes. Joseph Stalin was an authoritarian leader who definitely killed millions of Ukrainians during the export of grain to, of course, build up their economy.
But there's nothing about, you don't think there's anything about the ideology that leads to the suffering, impoverishing, or the murdering?
Well, just like how Hitler called himself a socialist, it's not the ideology, it's just what you actually do in practice.
Yes, he did call himself a socialist.
Yeah.
But he was not a Marxist.
He was not, yeah.
But the National Socialist Workers' Party is the actual name of Nazism. But where has Marxism ever worked?
Well, I wouldn't say that Marxism itself has ever actually been tried. Now, of course, you can always say like, oh, like, you know, that's an easy communist getaway question to it, right?
Well, but Marxism has killed a lot more people than Hitler. Everywhere it's tried, it results in famine, impoverishing, death, destruction. I mean, every failed country on the planet right now, including North Korea, is some form of a Marxist dictatorship.
Well,
so why is it hard to denounce that? Because it's easier for me to denounce fascism. Why the struggle to just say, you know, Marxism, bad, evil, end of story? Why can't we agree on that?
Well, because if you look at, I'll give the example of North Korea. What we did is that we went in there during the Korean War and destroyed all their factories, right? Now, what did this leave? This left an impoverished society where they now had no means to, of course, get their needs because their factories were destroyed. So that's number one on why North Korea. Now, I don't like North Korea. I'm just saying that's one reason why.
Has nothing to do with the Marxist leader? Nothing?
He's not a Marxist leader. I wouldn't consider himself a Marxist leader.
So what ideology is his?
So the ideology of Marxism is simply that workers own the means of production. The workers in North Korea do not own the means of production.
Would they have private property rights in North Korea?
They don't.
Then who owns the means of production?
The government does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but in a Marxist society,
that would be Marxism?
No, it's not, because the workers own the means of production, not the government.
But who is the government?
The government is the people, the bureaucrats.
Oh,
the bureaucrats who control the power.
Okay, and that would be the people, the bureaucrats owning the means of production, otherwise known as Marxism?
No. You're getting it all wrong. Literally, the word definition of Marxism is that workers own the means of production.
Right. So where has that ever been tried or worked? You say it's never been tried ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, got it. So even though the hammer and sickle and core Marxist ideology has been invoked repeatedly by these leaders, you're saying, no, not a Marxist. No, not a Marxist. No, not a Marxist. Over 100 times it has been tried on every single continent, from Mugabe in Rhodesia, which became Zimbabwe, to parts of India, to China, to Korea, to parts of Eastern Europe, to Central and South America, to Venezuela. None of that is Marxist, even though they say they're Marxist.
Well, it's tampering with Marxism, because you have sanctions and you bomb their countries. So, I mean, if you want to call that Marxism, then if you sanction and bomb them, I guess that's Marxism.
Wait, so how have we sanctioned and bombed these like Venezuela?
Like Venezuela has sanctions to where we don't buy their oil anymore.
Yeah, why do you think we're sanctioning them?
Because they have Marxist ideologies that don't incorporate with capitalist ideology.
Well, yeah, they're also like a quasi-terror state. But let's talk about Venezuela. Venezuela used to be rich and prosperous when they had the private ownership of minerals. Why is Venezuela now one of the poorest countries in South America? What ideology caused that?
See, but that's the thing, though. It's not the ideology, it's the practice. Now, you could say the practice is Marxism, but again, do the workers own the means of production in that country?
Somebody does.
Yes, somebody does, but not the workers.
Yeah, the government owns. So, I mean, in like the purest form of Das Kapital Marxism, it is the government that comes in and abolishes private property. Correct?
This is, of course, called, I think, the dictatorship of the proletariat, I think is what you're referring to.
Right. So
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. So you believe in this like abstract Marxism that you don't ever want to denounce, even though it's been tried 100 times.
But
If it
again, you say try, but we just said that it hasn't been tried because workers haven't owned the means of production.
Okay, well, why do you think that is? Because they use the swan song of Marxism, and Marxism will always result in an oligarchy or a dictatorship.
Okay.
Because you know why? It's impossible to quote unquote have the workers owns the means of production because we don't share well as human beings. That's why only someone that has, and with all possible due respect, an infant understanding of human nature can think communism can work, because we're self-interested at our core. And you have an economic system that is built not on private property, but on quote-unquote shared goods. You're going to have a dictator on top of it that is going to exploit and terrorize. And so you started this conversation by asking me to denounce fascism, which is responsible for about 10 to 15 million deaths, said ideology. I'm pleading you one more time to denounce Marxism that is responsible for minimum 100 to 120 million deaths.
Okay, academics have proven that wrong. That's not true. That's from the Black Book of Communism. That has
How many people did Mao kill?
Mao killed about 30 to 40 million.
Or how many people did Stalin kill?
Stalin killed about 20 to 30 million.
Okay, now we're at like 60 million, and I just
Yeah.
named like 2 countries, man. Okay? So like we're out of the gate, and we're at like 60 million, okay? So I can keep on going, right, if you want to talk famine, impoverishing, lowering of standard of living. But what I want to just reiterate as we close this out, there's this pathological fascination with fascism, and a complete ignoring that Marxism, which is the other side of the authoritarian coin, has been far deadlier, far more costly, and is far more popular. And I'll ask this final question. What do you think has a greater chance of catching on in America, fascism or Marxism?
I would say fascism.
Okay. You really think so?
I really do believe that.
Okay. The only way I would possibly agree with that is the left-wing fascists that shut up people on campuses and allow, try to stop freedom of speech. But it's just, I'm perplexed by your position and your inability and your unwillingness to denounce Marxism. I don't know how many, another 100 million people dead, maybe you'd change your mind.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I just was curious about your stance on like college is a scam.
Yeah.
And I just was curious, why you say that.
Let me prove it to you. How many of you have to take classes that are a waste of time that you wish you shouldn't have to take? Well, there you go. I rest my case.
Yeah, no.
How many of you guys know at least 3 people that dropped out that went to this college previously and earlier? Okay. The national graduation rate is 41%. Most people that go to college do not graduate. You guys actually go to a school that has a lot of applicability in the job market outside of some of the majors that are offered, but aeronautical engineering, computer engineering, which, go work for Elon. So this school is actually a little bit more of the exception than it is the rule, because I think humanities are largely one of the great wastes of time and kind of societal poisons and cancers that are happening in our society. I'm happy to continue.
So what do you recommend like an 18-year-old dude or a girl to do after high school?
Turn up the volume. Can we try? I apologize. Sorry. Yeah. We're going to try. And I will come out there and say hi to you guys in a second. So, and we're going to go say hi to all of our friends over there. What do I recommend? It all depends on what you want to do. That's the worst thing you can do is enter into a 4-year agreement where you have to borrow a bunch of money, try to find your way, go take a bunch of classes that have very little relevancy, and next thing you know, you end up with a college degree, and you end up getting a job that doesn't require a college degree. Here's a fact. Half of people that graduate college end up getting a job that does not require a college degree 10 years after they graduate. That is the best argument I have. it goes
sure.
to show the diploma doesn't actually
Yeah,
have.
I mean, you're looking at engineering students. You're looking at
well, engineering's different. There's
finance students.
I
and
qualified that,
students
yeah.
like that. For example, I went to community college for 2 years, and a lot of other people go to community college. You get free community college for 2 years, then you could transfer over, and then 2 years at a college like Cal Poly or a university, and the top 5 paying jobs out of college are accountants, engineers, teachers.
Try to get closer to the mic so people can hear. Yep.
Teachers,
Yep.
engineers, stuff like that. And it's just,
the hat.
and then the guys,
Brave.
the people that are wearing the shirts are actually in college. So I'm just curious,
But they know better than I do that it's a scam then.
I mean, it's just someone like me, I think it just comes down to hard work ethic,
No,
Like,
probably.
I don't understand, like, not everyone's built for the trades. Not everyone's built to go into construction or, work as a painter or whatever they're
Sure.
doing after college.
Or a mechanic.
Yeah, exactly, and I just, a large majority of people going into college out of high school, I think it's a good choice for kids because they have 4 years to develop as a human being versus just jumping into the workforce
that's
and
a good
making what 30, 40 grand, and you can't live off that right now.
I mean, are those folks over there developing as human beings?
I'm not talking about them.
But hold on.
I'm talking about
That's what college produces, though. Angry, bitter, resentful activists that hate the country. That's
Yeah.
not developing. That's hardening, and honestly creating, a mobilization army for the radical left. That's what we've seen.
You got your major courses where you're taking, I'm a real estate finance major, so I'm taking classes for real estate finance. I have internships in real estate finance.
It's great.
I'm not going into that field after college, but I'm saying you take classes at college to get a job after college, and there's most of the universities you get over 75 grand a year out of college. And if you do the route of 2 years at community college and transfer into a university,
Yep.
you're able to pay off that debt, which is around 20K, 30K. For a school like this, you can go to state school, and then you're off to the races.
If
So
you
I
graduate,
just-
41% don't. So, because they shouldn't have gone in the first place.
then what do they do? What do you do after?
They never should have gone. I mean, yeah, we have 11 million open trade jobs in this country.
Yeah,
But
so-
here's the thing. People do not want to work with their hands, and parents don't want to send their kids to go work with their hands because it's considered to be dirty type labor.
Well-
11 million job openings in this country that require just a 6-month certification, whether it be auto mechanic, right, HVAC, plumber, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And it's not for everybody, but
No, I mean I get what you're saying. It's just like the large majority of people in America right now are just lazy. They're not going to be doing that after high school.
Well, we agree. So does college make you lazy or make you work harder?
Makes you work harder. I mean, I worked throughout college. I worked.
You are the exception then.
I mean-
because employers are disagreeing. They say we've never seen such lazy, entitled, narcissistic college graduates. In fact, most employers say if you have a college degree, you're put in a different category. They prefer people out of high school, unless you want to go work for Bank of America in a soulless laptop job for the rest of your life, and
Yeah.
go learn about how men can become pregnant at some HR department survey.
or you use your analytical skills that you use in school to get a job that
Or
pays
you-
6 figures.
You can develop analytical skills outside of college.
I think you're just.
I'm living proof of that.
I think you're just. I mean, I almost dropped out too, and
I'm not saying it wasn't the right choice for you, but more times than not, kids are deceived and lied, and they have tons of animosity because this school is unique. If you go to UCLA or if you go to UC Berkeley, you're not left with $30,000 in debt.
No,
You're
no.
left with $130,000
Yeah.
in debt, right?
not if you do the 2-year community
So
college.
again,
for free.
I preface this school's a little different, but appreciate the thought. Thanks, man.
Hey, Kirk. My question is sort of a question/compliment. You're a very good public speaker. And I think a lot of people here might struggle with that. What I'm curious is somebody with so little education beyond high school and, just experience in the field, how are you able to so confidently just kind of word vomit, right? You've said pretty much every question you've answered has been no answer. You've just kind of said what conservatives want to hear. So really all of your work is not a debate. It's just confirmation bias. So
Wanna have a
debate? Sorry?
You want to debate?
No, I'm good. I'm just curious where you learned
You sure?
how to public
I'm a high
speak.
school graduate. You're in college, man. Let's debate. I vomit for a living, you said. Yeah. Come on, let's debate.
No, I'm not here to debate. That's not,
No, you're
that's
just
not
here
my
to, you're
question.
just here to insult me.
Yeah, you're a bad. Yeah, I am. Where did you learn how to public speak? Because you're really good at lying out of your ass.
What have I lied about? Name one thing I lied tonight about.
The
Name a
stats.
name a second thing. No, name a stat. I said that's wrong.
You said 11 million jobs. You said 50%.
Yes,
of this
11
room.
million jobs are open for blue collar work according to Mike Rowe and according to 3 independent studies according to the Department of Labor. Name another stat. I said that's wrong.
I guess my main point.
No, name a
is
third stat that I
when
said that's wrong.
When you say a stat or you just say numbers, it's helpful usually when you're public speaking to say where you got that information. Because people who disagree with you might not.
So
think you're
give me,
credible.
no, but you give some examples. Where did I lie or say a stat that's not true?
You need to work on not doing confirmation bias.
Wait, hold on. No, but you come up here and say, oh, how did you with a high school education learn to spew BS? Say one thing I said that was wrong, misleading, unfactual, not rooted in data. One
You're
thing.
doing it right now.
I'm asking you a question.
I was just making a comment and you're spinning it. That's what you're really good at. That's why I think you're a good
No, you
public
came up
speaker.
here and insulted me. I'm asking you, how have I misled this audience? And you come unprepared, like not with a single data. I thought you'd at least have like one gotcha, man. Like one number, like one thing. 11 million job openings according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics that require muscular labor and require just a 6-month technical training degree. That is true. At the apex, 15,000 people coming across the southern border every single day. I even said it's down a little bit. That is true. What have I said that's incorrect?
Do next. You're good at what you do, but not for the right reasons. That's all I'm saying.
They don't want to debate me because they can't debate me. They can't say one thing I said that's wrong. They can't name one data point. They just come up here and insult. You, my friend, are why we are going to beat you guys historically, because you are afraid to have a debate. Just, it's so amazing, the smugness. How'd you learn to speak like this in word vomit? Oh, what'd I say that's true? Everything. Name one thing. Name another thing. Name another thing. Yeah, you should ask for money back at KU. They're really scamming you, man. You'd think you'd have one little thing. All right.
You create a company that's like close to being a fascist, and then like.
Okay. Well, how am I?
Sorry.
Let's go through this. How am I a fascist?
Dude, like
Can you name one thing I believe that's fascist?
you believe that like you on. But
I'm
just
such a
okay.
bad fascist. I let the people who disagree in
Just-
open mic to talk to me for 2 hours uninterrupted.
Okay,
I'm an awful fascist. I'm more like a free speech liberal of the 1970s, not a fascist.
But I just want to say, Turning Point USA is a evil company that was funded by thousands of fracking companies, and that
well,
just.
no, it's not thousands, but we do have some frackers that give us money. But we
Yeah,
have-
and then
we have
all it is
but I don't know
making
how
the
we went
rich
from
more
fascist-
rich.
fascism to fracking.
That's
But-
all it is. That's all it is.
Okay, again, I'm happy to have a debate. I can see you're getting kind of fired up.
I'm sorry.
So, but why are we evil? Like we're having a nice discussion. All of a
Because
sudden
you want,
you're calling me like
because
a
it seems
fascist.
like you just want the rich get even more rich. Like
we haven't talked about the rich at all. I mean, so you don't even know my positions on this stuff at all. The wealthiest people, absent Elon Musk, are all on the left. Jeff Bezos, George Soros, Mark Benioff, Mark
Elon Musk
Zuckerberg,
on the
Laureen
left?
Powell Jobs. On the left, yes. Can you name one tech CEO outside of Elon Musk that is a conservative?
I personally think. Let me think. Peter Thiel.
Yeah, that's one. That's one. Larry Page, Google, on the left, worth $120 billion. Sergey Brin, Google, $130 billion on the left. Laureen Powell
they're-
Jobs, Mackenzie Bezos, Jeff Bezos.
If they're on the left, what has they done that was like quote unquote to do the left stuff?
Well, okay, so Larry Page gives money to left-wing NGOs all the time.
Like if you're on the left, I don't think you will ever be this rich.
Well, they are. You know why? Because the
But
left
because they're not.
No, here's
Because
the thing.
they're not.
The left is a scam. The left uses
How
peop-
is this
Let
scam?
me tell you why. It's a good question, actually. The left uses people like you that think that, oh, we're going to fight the rich. Well, they protect their oligarchy. While you guys have to keep on working hard and never own anything, when we conservatives are the ones that actually want to restore the American middle class and bring jobs back to this country.
How would you
And hold on,
restore-
Let me finish. The left uses people like you every day.
Who is funding? Dude, I have never seen
Okay.
a leftist
Again.
organization come to campus spreading their propagandas.
Because the whole university is a leftist organization
No, it's
spreading
not.
propaganda.
It's liberal. Left. There
Yeah,
is a
but-
clear-cut difference
but
between a leftist and a liberal. Please make
you're
that
coming
right.
after this in a good way because every major, powerful, wealthy person in the country, over $100 billion in net worth, with the exception of one person, Elon Musk, is on the cultural left and gives money to the left. And you guys give them a free pass because you think that we're fascists when in reality, we're the ones that are actually fighting to destroy the oligarchy the most.
All right, last question.
Last point.
Last question. Let's say so you do want to fight for the American middle class, and
That's
how,
my- yes,
Okay,
that's my
how does freer the market like helps with the
Well,
middle
again,
class?
I want precision in free markets, but
How does free market support the middle class?
Again, I'm not puritanical, but I think that generally more choices are a good thing. I think that generally supporting entrepreneurs is positive, but I think that mass immigration is really bad for American workers.
There's no mass immigration.
Well, first of all, how many people are? Wow. Well, you're right.
what
There is
mass-
mass invasion, but how many people are coming across the southern border every day?
I don't know, but like
no, I'm
it's not
actually genuinely curious. Can you guess?
okay. On what time frame?
Every day.
Every day. 500.
Yeah, it's at its low point. It's at 10,000 right now. It was 15,000 last month. So what does that annualize? Let's play that out.
A lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So that's mass immigration, right? How many green cards do we give out every year?
Probably a lot.
Yeah, a lot. About
Yeah.
1.2 million.
Well,
right?
what's wrong with giving out green
I'm
cards?
not saying anything wrong. No, you said there's no mass migration. So I'm just
Okay.
trying to tell you, we do have mass migration, right?
Okay.
We have 3 million on the southern border, and then we have 1 million green cards,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's 4 million a year, right? Which is basically bigger than most U.S. states. Now, everything comes with a cost. When you have mass migration, you're going to get lower wages. But that means you're going to disenfranchise American workers. What are you studying computer science?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so you're an American born, I'm guessing, American raised. I don't want to
I
assume.
wasn't, but
Okay.
I moved to the U.S.
Okay, well, you're an American now, I guess. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah,
Or you're
I
on a
am.
Student visa. Okay, you're going to now have to compete. You're kind of proving my point, but that's a separate issue. You're now going to have to compete against foreign labor for your computer science jobs. I think we have a moral obligation to American-born workers to give them preference and priority and restrict the labor supply so that our computer science majors can have higher wages, not to have suppressed wages so some tech CEO can bring in a bunch of Indians and suppress their, no, nothing against Indians, but just, bring down their wages.
Personally, I just think that like if you came to America and then receive a green card, I think you get to work however you want. Like,
Okay, I think that American-born citizens
and then
should
there
be given.
shouldn't be a priority because they're American citizens.
Well, that's
as long as you're
that's where we're
American
different. I
citizen.
actually think you must have a priority to your own citizens, or else you don't have a government. You have something else. If you don't have a priority to your own people, I don't know what you have. You have a colony, not a country. You're just a big economy, and that's fine if that's your position. By the way, your position is held by the ruling elite. Where I think that we should have a country, not just a colony, where the American-born citizens should be given preference over foreigners. Nothing against foreigners. I think they're nice people, but the Americans should be given first preference. And by the way, any sane country believes that. We're like the only country in the world that says, and certain European countries, come on in and take whatever you want.
I saw some people with the shirt that says school, college is a scam. It's quite the statement. And could you elaborate a little bit more on that? Do you believe college is a scam?
Yeah, half this audience, if you guys get a job, will end up getting a job that doesn't require a college degree.
Okay.
Then
So-
we get a job that requires a college degree.
So,
Yeah, so any business that has a 50% rate of a customer being scammed will be shut down by the federal government for disenfranchising their customers. You went to Chili's, like, hey, 50% chance that our fries are going to give you food poisoning.
so if you look at college more than just getting a job, more as educating the population, would you say that's a scam?
Well, it depends on what you think college is and what it's become. Secondly, 41% of people that enter college don't graduate. The dropout rate's insanely high.
That's true.
Third, I mean, what exactly is being taught here? It's a great question. I mean, are you learning about the beauty of Western civilization and reading the Federalist Papers of Hamilton and Madison and Jay? And do you get a positive view of America, or do you spend time on postmodernism of Michel Foucault and Jacques Derrida and Jean Stefanik and Derek Bell?
I'd say more networking.
Oh, networking.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Wait, before we go dive deep into it, what's your definition of a scam?
where a serious proportion of your customers are not given the value proposition that they pay for,
Education, right?
which they're not getting. Yeah.
You're saying, so therefore, and
Well, that's the question. You come here to get educated. You guys are going from the wrong thing. This is just a glorified credentialing exercise.
yeah, and that's what you're paying for. But therefore, it's not
Oh, okay.
scam.
So we're not. It's not education. You're just paying for a piece of paper so you can get a job.
And education. I mean,
Oh, is it education? So,
are you? It is education. Sorry.
but education.
I'll change it.
What does that even? What does that mean to you?
Resources, learning how to work, learning how to move around a professional workforce.
You need to go to college to learn that.
Yes, I'd say
I
so.
think you're being scammed, man.
I don't-
Take it from someone who didn't go to college. You don't need any of that stuff.
Yeah.
You
Would
need-
you say a doctor would need a college degree?
Well, of course, but the vast majority of kids here aren't studied to become a doctor.
How many engineers are in here?
Yeah. Okay. So how many people that are studying social or liberal sciences? Social sciences. Yeah, fair amount.
Okay. But it's a personal choice.
The
Therefore,
vast majority of kids that go to college are social sciences, psychology, communications. About only 18 to 20% are studying engineering.
and you say they shouldn't go to college.
Well, it all depends. Again, it depends on what you're studying,
Exactly.
why you're there. But you don't. This idea that engineering you need a 4-year degree, you could also just learn to code in 6 months and work for Salesforce and earn $180,000 a year.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yes,
full-
it is true. They
Coding's hard, Charlie.
you have to go to college to learn to code.
Not necessarily.
Okay, that's my point. I'm not saying it's easy. You just need to go to college. Secondly, what does a manager of a Walmart supercenter make a year? Anybody know?
What,
It's $400,000 a year.
$400,000.
Yeah, they don't require. Yeah, you guys should just go become a manager of a Walmart. Doesn't require a college degree. What does the average plumber make in Scottsdale, Arizona? $115,000 a year. What does the average HVAC technician make in Henderson, Nevada? $75,000 a year. But those don't require college degrees. There are 11 million job openings in this country right now that don't require college degrees. We are oversupplying college.
But yet you're here taking advantage of college and college students.
Am I
and
taking advantage? Is that what I'm doing?
You're taking advantage of the space, of taking advantage of the students, not in a way of like
Yeah, I mean,
intellectually taking advantage.
it's like going to a place to tell people you're being scammed. If you call that taking advantage, then so be it.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking advantage as you're taking my time, you're taking everyone's time,
Well,
and
you're volunteering your time too. I didn't force you.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
You're taking
Okay.
our time. We're
Fair enough.
investing our time.
I do this also in other places than campuses too. So
Yeah, no, but then you're here and then you're saying college is a scam.
It is. Half of you guys will end up getting a job where your entire college debt burden means nothing. You will get a job that does not require a college degree at all. Your 4 years wasted. You shouldn't have come here in the first place. Half.
Well, I disagree with you, and
All right. Well,
that's fair.
I hope
Cool.
I hope it's worth
Have
it.
a wonderful
I hope,
day.
All right. Thank you.
What exactly do you mean by college is a scam?
Good question. I wrote a whole book about it. Largely, the value proposition that you are being offered is not worth the time or the money that many of you are forking over. There's exceptions to that generally, but for example, the vast majority of students that graduate from four-year college, they'll end up getting a job if they get a job at all in a career or a job that doesn't require a college degree. So, henceforth, asking the question, why do they go to college in the first place?
Okay, now what do you mean about jobs that don't require a college degree?
Like working at Starbucks as a barista.
Okay. So, what exactly do you mean by the value proposition not being sufficient for the cost of going to college?
Yeah, so I mean, going $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 into debt, that's a significant thing. And hopefully, if you're going to do that, you're going to be able to prove and have some value for that reason. So, for example, there was a study that just came out in the last day, the 16 lowest paying job majors, and the vast majority of those are actually what kids study in college, right? Communications, liberal arts, things of that nature. And so the question is, why even go to college at all if you're just basically getting a credential that is worth less and less money in the marketplace? Now, if you study engineering, if you study finance, terrific, but the scam also is just beyond the financial value proposition. It's the ideological pollutants that are spread on college campuses and the, let's just say, some of the left-wing indoctrination that occurs here as well.
Okay, so moving aside from that red herring there, I myself am a communication major, And I am very well aware of the communication majors who just take a 4-year degree and go into jobs that either don't require a degree or.
Try to get as close to the mic as you can. Is that okay? Thank you. It's okay. Yeah.
But anyways, I'm aware of the communication majors who only get a bachelor's degree, and if they're lucky, they're only able to get research assistant jobs in communication, or not even get a job that requires a degree at all. But would not those who continue on to get masters and doctorates in communication, who get $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year research jobs, would that not counteract the total economic, socioeconomic value of those who just go into college and then end up Starbucks baristas?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, also master's degrees are expensive, right? PhDs are expensive, so you're looking at least at $150,000 to $200,000 in debt, minimum, if you're going to do that. And if that's the path you want to take, so be it. But there are 11 million job openings in the country right now that pay $80,000 or more that don't require a college degree. 11 million job openings. And I don't think we're always telling our young people, the next generation, that these jobs are available to you. It's an expectation that you go to 4-year college, and in fact, you're treated and almost considered to be dumb if you don't go to 4-year university. And I think that's a big mistake. And not to mention the vast majority, 41% of kids that enter college do not graduate. There's something deeply wrong with the system.
So from what you're telling me, though,
Final point.
from what you're telling me, though, it sounds more like the problem lies not in college itself, but rather the individual paths that people choose who look at a situation, make the wrong decisions, don't stay in school as long as they need to in order to get the career that they want.
Or they drop out because they don't see the value. They drop out because they don't think it's worth their time. And again, half of this audience, after 10 years, if they get a job, they'll end up getting a job that didn't require them going to college in the first place. Half. That sounds like a scam. Why are they here in the first place? Why are they borrowing all this money and spending 4 years on a university just to go get a job that never would have required them to get the degree or the debt or the 4 years being spent on campus? Thanks for the time. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I want your take on immigration. What do you feel about illegal immigration, border hopping, border patrol? What do you take on that? Do you believe? I mean, obviously, I know somewhat what
it shouldn't be a mystery, my beliefs,
obviously.
But
I want to hear it from you first.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in this country illegally, you should be deported.
Okay.
And we should also restrict the amount of legal immigrants coming into this country as well.
Okay.
But the illegal problem is a much bigger problem right now. It's a full-out invasion. We have 15,000 people a day marching into our country. We don't know who they are. Terrorist watch lists. They're killing people every day. Laken Riley, another 16-year-old in Texas who just murdered over the weekend by an illegal.
So you believe that everyone, no matter what you've done, deserves to get deported even if they're illegal? What if they just do nothing and contribute to society? You can contribute to society.
Well, they didn't do. Hold on. They didn't do nothing. They broke into our home.
Okay. But
so if you break into somebody's home, you should be able to get kicked out of the home. So they know what they did. They trespassed. They domiciled themselves illegally. If that continues, go back to your country of origin and go be a dreamer in Nicaragua.
But a lot of times it's because of U.S.'s imperialistic past is what caused many of these nations to... Oh, can you hear me?
U.S. imperialism in the past?
Yeah, a lot of these countries have been devastated by...
Okay, so there's over 120 different countries that are coming across the border. Uzbekistan... over 155,000 people from China have come across the border this year?
Okay.
From China. That's not like U.S. imperialism in Honduras. So they should be kicked out and deported. And it doesn't matter. U.S. imperial. I'm going to roll my eyes at the whole thing. You still broke the law. You came into our country illegally. We have laws and customs. You came here. You knew you were breaking the law. And you should be sent back to your country of origin. Any decent country would do that.
So you're taking a subset of Chinese citizens or Chinese people from China and grouping them with everyone else, and because
I think Hondurans, Mexicans, Nicaraguans, El Salvadorians, Panamanians, Venezuelans, Chileans, they should all go home.
Oh, really?
If they're here illegally, yes.
But like I said before, these people have been devastated in the past. These countries are poor.
I don't care. Go fix your own country. How did we screw up El Salvador? No, tell me. How did we screw up El Salvador? Can anyone tell me? Or is that just a talking point?
What about for the kids?
Go
you're
back to
born
your
here-
country of origin.
So you would tell me to go back to my country
Well,
right now?
are you born here or not?
I'm born here.
Well,
My
I think we
parents
should
not.
get
They
rid of
were illegal.
birthright citizenship, but technically we have it, so you
Me.
should stay. But yes.
But I'm contributing to society. I'm working.
Okay, good for you. I mean,
So then
again,
I
I
should
would.
just leave?
I think we should get rid of birthright citizenship.
Oh, so
but,
I'm done.
But
I'm done for
again,
it.
I'm
Give me
not
half
like
Mexico.
I'm not like king, so we don't get rid. But birthright citizenship is a misreading of the birthright clause in the U.S. Constitution. But we have it, so you're going to stay. Don't worry. Okay.
But you want me gone.
But are
you want me gone?
Well, no, I don't want you. I want
You
the
literally just
law
said it,
to
like
be
a couple minutes
enforced.
ago.
Again, I think you're a nice person, but I don't
too.
allow my feelings to all of a sudden come in to the
You were literally
administration
being
of
very emotional
justice.
at the moment.
I'm sorry, what?
You were literally talking about how, oh, we didn't do anything. Get out of here. It's literally what you just said. I'm dumbing it down, obviously.
Well, okay, but did your parents come here illegally?
Yeah.
Okay, they're criminals, and they should
Okay.
go back to the country of origin.
But they contribute to society.
I don't.
They pick up,
I'm
they
sure a
work
lot
every
of
day.
criminals. Okay, they might
They
rob a
work,
store and pay
they
their
work, they pick-
taxes.
they get your food.
Okay, but
They fast
let me
food,
ask you a
they
question.
drive your kids to school.
When they came,
that not contributing?
What's their country of origin?
My mom's from Mexico. My dad's from Syria.
From Syria.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh,
got it.
don't talk about
Did-
that.
Did he come here illegally too?
Not him. Just my mom.
Okay,
But I
got
only
it.
live with my mom, so.
So that's fair. So when she came here, did she know she was breaking the law?
She was like, I think, 17. So yeah.
Did she know?
She probably know.
Okay. Therefore, you should go back to your country of origin. If you knew that you were invading somebody's home, I don't have sympathy for you. You're an invader. You broke into our country.
But
I don't care if you're contributing. I don't care if you're this wonderful dreamer in this great story. Either you have the law or you don't. And if your position is to repeal that law, then make that case. If you think it should be illegal to be able to waltz into somebody's country, then fine. There should be no exceptions to the administration of border law. You know who agrees? Mexico. If I go into Mexico without papers, they'll deport me back to America. Try to land in Cabo without your passport.
They'll let you in. I've been
No,
to
they
Mexico plenty of
won't.
times.
No, they won't.
Really? I just
As in,
walked through.
No, I landed in Cabo 6 months ago with somebody without a passport. They didn't let him into the country. There are stricter borders to go into Mexico.
That is
than
a
to-
lie. I don't know what border you've been through, but to go into Mexico is literally you just walk in. You drive in.
You drive to
it's
Cabo.
literally fast. You know
do you know
coming
where
back
do you
to
know where
America?
Cabo is on the southern tip of the Yucatan Peninsula? How do you drive?
You're talking about all of Mexico. You can't make the argument and talk about the southern border when you're talking about a part of Mexico. If you say that argument, you
If
have to
I
talk about the whole
illegally
thing.
domiciled myself in Mexico City and I announced I was illegal, what would the Mexican government do?
Who's announcing they're illegal?
You just announced your mom is here illegally.
Yeah, because you asked.
No, you declared yourself. I'm a dreamer. I was born here. So I implied your mom was here
Okay.
illegally, right? And you might not like to hear it, but your mom's a criminal. And
Okay.
every day she stayed here is no different than squatting. You're squatting in America. You don't get squatters' rights in this country. Just
Okay.
because you have a nice story and we feel sorry for you. Again, your mom contributes a lot, right? Then she can contribute back in Mexico. She can go build a beautiful business and get a job, or
Why
go
can't
to.
she do that here?
She already is, but the point is that she wasn't welcome here. She wasn't invited. She cut in line. She took the place of other legal immigrants from across the world that have to wait decades to come into here. She wanted it more, so she cut in line under this mass sympathy campaign, and we're supposed to feel sorry for her? Go back to Monterey.
Okay.
So, do you think we should get rid of the law that says you can't come into a country illegally? Should we just get rid of that law?
My honest opinion,
Yeah.
I would say no.
No, we shouldn't get rid of it.
No.
Okay, I agree. So then when should we enforce it?
What?
When should we enforce it?
I don't know.
Okay, and you know the reason, and I respect the intellectual honesty, because if you said we should enforce it all the time, then you know it would apply to your
Yeah.
mom. But look, you're a winner of all this. You get to be in the greatest country in the history of the world, right?
I respect it. I love being American.
Yes, and so, great, okay? And we have birthright citizenship. You have a U.S. passport, I assume, right? You cannot have a sustainable country if you do not have control of who comes into your country with no sort of standards, no sort of process. It's a big mystery. Secondly, on top of that, we have it on the books. You shall not trespass across the U.S. southern border. It is literally a felony. They want to make it a misdemeanor. So if we repeal that law, that's a position of some people. No border policy whatsoever.
Okay. No. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for your time.
God bless. Next question. Thank you.